intent behind designing this solution is to automate and digitalize the complete approval process chain within any organization, whether it's a BFSI segment, whether it's a manufacturing segment, or whether it's a ITES or PSE units that we are talking about. So the background and business need that basically this product smart office captures is predominantly we have seen that in any organization the operation department, whether it's a finance operation, whether it's a HR, whether it's a training, or whether it's a credit, these are few of the very critical department, and these department require a lot of tedious approval mechanism with a very large number of document that passes through on a day-to-day basis from one department to another, whether it's an inter-department or whether it's an intra-department. And every document required a thorough review and approval to transfer back to appropriate person before the document can finally be archived post all audit process and approvals. Now the business need was we have seen that geo where we are functioning, it's a very traditional approval process what most of the organization was following till a couple of years back, where it's a traditional desk to desk approval process that has been followed, which has left kind of organization out of sync with the latest development or with the technology, how fast industry is been progressing. That is when organizations started looking to reduce their paper footprint and go digital, and started thinking about the solution that can help them cope up with their digital movements of files within the organization as well as with the external parties of the organization. That is where our team has kind of given a thought to build up a solution that is known as Smart Office. So this Smart Office solution we have catered in three different pieces. Fixes the three major pain points of any industry vertical or any business. One, it's a form management. Form management is basically any kind of internal or external process or data that need to be captured, or usually the process was to have a hard copy of data and then probably a data operator. Someone will try capturing those detail in a form of Excel or SQL, and our repository will maintain. This solution will automate the complete form management. The second piece that this solution focuses is document management. Again, we have seen that when it's a traditional desk-to-desk approval process, mechanism any organization have followed, it would become very chaotic task or very tedious task to keep a track of all those paper documents, fax documents, video artifact, audio artifact, or a paper report. So all these report, all these data is a kind of bit scattered way how it has been managed. The solution helps to categorize all these documents and create a central repository where these documents can be maintained. And last but not the least, it automates the complete process management using digital signature. So initially when it was desk to desk approval mechanism, when any of the organization have followed, it's a kind of physical signature what they used to carry. And again, if it comes to audit kind of thing, it would become very difficult for any kind of auditor to track how exactly these documents have been approved and what kind of transaction these documents or what kind of review these documents have gone through. That is when the process management comes in. Now, few of the very critical challenges what we have observed while our data science team was having a brainstorm for building this solution are these of the few top challenges what we have identified, again regardless of the any specific industry vertical. The very first challenge was traditional method of documenting details on paper or online application form, tedious workflow, huge backlog, because if it's a desk to desk approval process that we are talking about, then the entire process is people dependent, not having any kind of tool. But the challenge was organization was having multiple tools to manage multiple things. Collaboration was a big challenge on a real-time basis. Change management was a challenge, and document management was a challenge. How this solution has helped us to overcome these business challenges is we have given a platform where the document approval system and signing can be automated using digital channels. The legal repudiation has been taken care with, because of which the overall data security for any organization has enhanced to the next level. Faster turnaround time. When it was a people dependent, it's more of a we need to depend for the tab for any kind of approval process on that particular person. But now, if everything is being digital, people can approve those documents while they are on ease. Even if they are traveling, they are commuting, they are on leave, And if there is any kind of business critical document that need to be accessed, reviewed, and need to be approved, now people can approve those documents using their cell phone, using their laptops, using their tablet, or any kind of smart devices. It helps organization to go completely paperless environment. A centralized repository has been created, and a formal folder and document structure has been created with a necessary permission. So if there are different hierarchies in the organization, every hierarchy will have a specific permission assigned. So it will not happen that the data breach can happen within the organization, because every person would be having the dedicated rights associated to them so that they can have access to those documents. Now, the overall approach that we have formed was any of the organization, we have seen that all the tools what they have been catered. There is a separate investment what organization have been doing for all those multiple tools to cater their business need. What we had tried to perform is that whatever IT investment that any organization has already performed, we try to understand that what all components is being covered out of those IT investment, and can we leverage all those existing components to design a kind of solution that can mitigate all the business challenges, all the pain areas that any of the business is having. And that is where we kind of started working, and we have leveraged all the component that falls within M365 umbrella, be it SharePoint, be it Microsoft Teams, be it OneDrive for Business, be it Power Automation. All these different component has been leveraged by our developer team to come up with this particular solution that is known as Smart Office. And the beauty of this solution is that the entire document process that happens in this solution is encrypted and has a complete authenticity and maintains the integrity and confidentiality of that particular data. Organization always wanted to have some kind of approval mechanism system where they can use either electronic signature or Aadhaar based signature or any kind of third party signature that can be integrated with them, just to have a real time signing of those documents related to any kind of financial approval or administrative approval in place. This solution helps organization to mitigate all those dreams or kind of thoughts that organization was having at that point of time. The three takeaway of this solution is that solution has been designed in a way which use existing components of Microsoft. All these documents have a thorough audit log captured with digital signature that helps organization to comply any kind of audit that would get performed over a period of time, just to maintain the sanity of those transactions. And also this solution helps organization to improve the overall productivity, where earlier in a day probably organization a person would have approved 15 documents. Now that same person would have an option or probably a bandwidth to approve probably 100 documents, as everything is being digitalized and it's available on the go because of the automation and mobility that we have given to any kind of department for their day-to-day operations. Adopted this solution very well, and at this point of time, I can proudly say that it's close to 1 million people in the country who is successfully using this solution on a day-to-day basis.